What's up, guys? Brett Okamoto from ESPN, joined by the biggest superstar in the game, Ali Abdelaziz, who's joining us. I wouldn't even say poolside, in the pool, which I got to say, just you being in a pool during this interview, people are going to have opinions on that.
Bro, honestly, I have not been on vacation for almost like 2 years. I've been trying to get in the sun, but Khabib would not let me. I've been here, and you call me when I'm in the pool, and guess what? I'm gonna do it, and I don't give a what they say.
All right,
I don't care.
So wait, you're on vacation or you're at work right now?
I'm at work, but Khabib decided to take a nap for 3 hours, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna jump in the pool for a little bit. You know?
All right. So you're down there in Miami, Eagle FC. 47. You got some people on the card, but when you look at Khabib in this promoter role, though, what's it like for you, man? Because you've been with Khabib for a very long time. You've been with him through fighter, contender, champion, all of that. Now you're seeing him in the promoter role. What is this kind of like chapter in your guys' relationship like?
It's crazy because he broke the internet today. Like he broke the internet today when he told if Jorge win, he will fight Fedor in Saudi Arabia and potentially co-promoting with Scott Coker. Scott Coker spun him on Twitter, and you know, I kind of instigated a little bit behind the scene. But guess what? If this happened, it'll be huge. Fedor's last fight, Jorge former UFC champion. Both Saudi Arabia never have an MMA event. We see UFC in Abu Dhabi. They have great shows. Why not? Yeah. Khabib have his own promotion with Scott Coker, because we know Dana's not going to do co-promote with Khabib or anybody else. But I think Scott Coker is the perfect candidate because he did it before and he's a legend, you know. And if you want to co-promote, I think it's the right guy, Scott Coker, to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, Khabib he's always going to have clout in the game. Yeah, when he does something, it does show up on the internet all over the place.
I don't think he's not about clout. He's just so truthful and he means everything he said. He's not just say things like for hypes, like Jake Paul and this fake guys, you know.
Yeah, no,
we need to talk about. Go ahead.
He's always been very genuine. And one thing he's genuine about right now is getting Islam Makhachev his title fight that he believes he deserves. Ali, is this fight gonna? It seems like it's the pretty obvious fight to make. I mean, I'll just kind of say that. I don't think I'm stepping out on a limb. You got an 11-fight win streak, 10-fight win streak, and it also kind of seems like Dana was irritated with him about the whole. Is he stepping in for that short notice fight? Did he offer his services against Rafael dos Anjos? What is the situation here with Islam Makhachev? Is he going to get a title fight against Charles Oliveira?
Listen, you cannot put me on the spot, but it's okay because it's my job to be on the spot. If I talk about Islam, I have to talk about Beneil, right? You know. First, let's talk about Dana. Dana, it's listen. He was willing to pay Islam very good money. You know, I'm not gonna lie, to fight Rafael dos Anjos, but it take a longer process, and he just fought. But guess what? He just fought 5 days later. Dana get upset, but Dana have a good heart, man. He forget about things, and I don't think Islam did anything wrong, right? You know, the guy who fought 11 months, 4 fights, 4 finishes, you know, and Beneil too. You know, gotta talk about Beneil. 7-fight winning streak, 4 bonuses, knocking everybody out, or submitting people. You know, my opinion, I respect Charles Oliveira, no doubt about it. I believe he's the UFC world champion today, even if he doesn't have the belt. But I know for sure Charles Oliveira is not the best lightweight in the world today. And you see Charles doing what everybody else is doing. He's calling Nate Diaz out. He's calling Conor out. Instead of calling Beneil out or Islam out, right? Yes, Islam have 10-fight winning streak. He have 11-fight winning streak, right? Khabib, when he was a champion, he always wanted to fight the best. Frankie Edgar was a champion, wanted to fight the best. Verdum was a champion. Kamaru Usman showing us he's fighting the best of the best. That's what Kamaru does, right? And as a champion, and people so high on you, you should not be calling out. I understand it's a payday, right? You want to make a payday. I get it, but that's why I said Charles Oliveira respectfully, and I respect him. I like my coach. He's not the best lightweight in the world, right? He's not. The odd maker, Islam, what, 450? I don't know what Beneil at now. You know, people don't think he is. Dana White himself don't think he's the best lightweight in the world. Sean Shelby, he understands this game in and out. He know this is not the he's not the best lightweight. Hunter, Mick, all of them. They don't think he can beat Islam. About Beneil, I don't think, me personally, I don't think he can beat Beneil too, because he was scheduled to fight Beneil. Somehow he had a family problem. A month later, he fought Tony Ferguson, right? And it's okay. I understand it. You have to do what's the best for you. But in reality, if you're a world champion, especially in a promotion like the UFC, the best fight the best here. If you're not willing to fight the best, it's fine. Guess what? Like Khabib did an interview early today. He said he wanted this fight not to be in Abu Dhabi. He wanted this fight to be in Brazil. Guess what? He can go to Brazil. But Benin also can go to Brazil. Listen, at the end of the day, I don't make these calls. Dana White, he's the final shot caller in this game in the UFC. I'll try on my fight title shot for both, not only Islam, for Islam and Benin. Either or, I'm happy. You understand? Either or, I'm happy. At the end of the day, the UFC is a business. They got to do what they got to do. But, they say Beneil doesn't sell this, but Islam, I think Islam for this region is huge, right? And I just, I cannot have this conversation, so I'll talk about Beneil because I love him, and he's such an amazing human being, and he can beat everybody's ass too. And I said this since day one. Me and Khabib agree. Khabib's Islam is tougher fight, and Beneil's Islam is tougher fight. Stylistically, it is, right? I think Charles Oliveira is not the best lightweight in the world today. I think Beneil can beat him. I think Islam can beat him. I think Arman Sarukian, I don't even manage. I think he can beat him. I'm just, but I just don't think, and it's crazy how people compare him to Khabib, This guy have double-digit losses. Khabib, let him rerun these people who Khabib is. Never been dropped, never been dug down, never bled in a fight, never barely lost any round, lost any moment in a fight. How are you going to compare him to a guy who's a young, impatient guy? You cannot call Charles Oliveira as a quitter. I don't think he's a quitter. This have to stop today. He didn't quit. But I'm talking about his level to this game, and he's not on the same level as Khabib or Islam or Beneil. And respectfully, because I really respect the guy. But, he can prove me wrong by fighting these people, or he's not even the champ. You know what I'm saying? He's the number one contender. How you want to make a number one contender match against a guy who doesn't have the belt, right? But at the end of the day, I don't make this kind of call. I'm going to be bothering people, talking to them. Probably they're going to be annoying me, maybe answer them a call, but it's my job. I have to do my job. But whatever decision is going to take, maybe I don't like it, but I have to respect it. That's about it.
Do you think the UFC would? Do you think? I loved what Khabib was saying about let's go to Brazil. Let's go to Brazil and go to his own backyard and take it. Do you think the UFC would do that, or do you think that they're like pretty much? It seems like we've known this the entire year that Islam was going to fight in Abu Dhabi. Is there a chance that he would not fight in Abu Dhabi and actually go to Brazil?
Listen, UFC is an international company. Fighters are gonna be fighting Singapore, Brazil, whatever it is. They have to fight. But it's Dana and Sean and this guy's decision where this guy is going to fight. I understand Brazil needs some love. They have not been there for years. And if Islam or Beneil go to Brazil, they need to go to Brazil, right? Listen, Islam have an advantage. He's on Finting 5-1 streak, but also Khabib promoting out there. But it's my job also to try to promote Beneil too. But at the end of the day, in the perfect world, this can happen. You can see Charles Oliveira fighting Islam, or Beneil fighting Islam, and after that, the other end, everybody think Chandler is untouchable, right? Have one of these guys fight Chandler. And Chandler win, he can jump on fight for the title. But also Chandler, he want to fight Conor McGregor, right? Guess what? Fighting Conor McGregor on a regular fight is not the same when you fight Conor McGregor if you're the champion. If you're the champion and fighting Conor McGregor, it's so much bigger. You understand? As far as I know, Conor McGregor, he's on rehab for his legs. He's on rehab for drugs. Like he's, he have 24 hours a day rehab. The guy have not won a fight for so long. Of course, the fan want to see him back fighting because he brings certain kind of entertainment, and I respect it. But he's not a championship worthy type of guy. Understand? This is my opinion.
You and I spoke about Kamaru a little bit, and He showed up in Phoenix and he gave an interview and he said that the hand is coming along, but he's still testing it. And then you told me yesterday, that that's still the case. He's testing it, but he's not been medically cleared. Can you just give me a very crystal clear, where is Kamaru at and what is sort of the time frame for seeing him fight again?
Listen, I know, the UFC know, Kamaru is one of the most active champions in the UFC, but he's been taking medications to go through fights, but finally he made a decision. He said, my body needs a break. And Dana supported it, the UFC supported it, I supported it. The man it's a machine, but sometimes machine, you need a little bit rest. And guess what? But let's not get it twisted. Kamaru Usman have not stopped training, even with one hand. Yeah. Like all these guys think Kamaru Usman is gonna come back and he's gonna be out of the cage for so long. They got it twisted, because I believe Kamaru Usman, he will come back. Nobody have shown me, even some guys I manage, nobody have shown me they can touch the man. Yeah. I believe the man is gonna have the same legacy of Khabib. I think he's gonna end his career undefeated in the UFC, more title defense than anybody, and he's gonna be on top. But nobody have even shown me a glimpse they can touch him. But right now he's slowly trying his hand. We having a conversation with the UFC. They've been very respectful, giving him his space. And the UFC always want you, rush you to fight, but they know the guy. Kamaru like to fight and like to make money, and that's the two things. When he's ready to fight, somebody's gonna get it. Don't know who, but they all can get it.
You don't know who, because really, I mean,
I know. Leon Edwards. He's the number one contender. I think could be, criminal if you don't give Leon Edwards a title shot. I think he deserves it. Yeah. I respect Leon Edwards, and I think Leon is gonna get it. I think Kamaru got so much better since they fought, and Leon got a little bit better. And I think Kamaru will stop him under 3 rounds.
Does Kamaru have any anything scheduled in terms of medical evaluation? Like, when is his next doctor visit to look at the hand?
Last time he saw the doctor said that was 2 weeks ago, 30 days before he can see him again, right? In 1 week or 2 weeks, we will know what Kamaru Usman gonna do. And I appreciate you asking. I know the fan miss him, because he's been giving us performance after performance and performance. And I appreciate even he asked me about what Kamaru is doing. Thank you.
Oh, of course, man. Of course. He's the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world. Of course I'm going to ask you about Kamaru.
So, Leon Edwards next. And all these contenders, they think they next. They have to fight. The number 1 contender guy is fake Kobe Covington, right? He have to fight. He have to fight somebody, to become a champion, to fight for the title. If people are gonna think they're gonna fight other guys to fight for the title, it's not gonna happen.
Okay. How about Henry Cejudo, man? He's back in the USADA testing pool. I see that he's actually been tested by USADA. When are you kind of anticipating his return? And are they going to give this guy a title fight straight out of the gate?
Honestly, I have a meeting I think it was Hunter and Sean with Henry. We have a really great dinner. It was cool, man. It was cool how much to see the respect this guy respecting. But they, one of the things always, the question around Henry, is this guy gonna play this cringy shit forever, or he gonna stop, or he gonna get serious? And at this meeting, it was not Triple C. It was Henry Cejudo, the Olympic champion, the UFC flyweight champion, the bantamweight champion, right? And they felt good about it. I felt good about it, because my reputation on the line here. I said, Henry, if you're gonna play with these people, I don't want to be involved in it. I'm gonna have Henry's back regardless. But also, my word to me mean everything. That's all I have is my word. And I believe Henry said he would like to fight October, November. Listen, if they want to go ahead and make Aljamain versus TJ and he can fight the winner, it's fine. If Aljamain want to wait to fight Henry, there, it's fine too. But this is up to the UFC schedule. I know they have a lot of events and they need to book fights. But when Henry come back, he will get an immediate title shot at bantamweight.
Okay. And then
that's what I was being told. And the people, I believe They're very honorable and they always keep their word. But listen, it's a crazy sport. A lot of things happen. Maybe TJ and Aljamain will have like a crazy fight. They do a rematch or a draw or something, you know?
Yeah. If he wins the
But
135,
one more thing too. I love Aljamain Sterling. Everybody know that. Henry Cejudo is gonna come back. He's gonna whip everybody's ass. I don't think any of these guys have a chance. It's you know, especially TJ. I'll give Aljamain a little bit. He will give Henry a tougher fight, but I think Henry will stop all these guys. You know, and I think a lot of Aljamain, he doesn't get the respect he deserves. I respect him. I think he's a good man, but I think that Henry Cejudo is gonna put all these guys on stretchers.
when you had that meeting with Hunter, did Henry
And Sean, don't leave my man Sean out.
Hunter and Mr. Shelby, of course. I mean, huge part of the UFC, obviously. When you had a meeting with Hunter and Sean, did Henry's ambition of winning a 145-pound championship come up?
Yeah, of course, Henry's going to talk about it. But one of the things I said, listen, at the end of the day, these guys, they do big business and they're big boys and they wear big boys pants. You come there, you go ahead and beat TJ, you beat Aljamain, and you ask for 145, they're going to give it to you. You understand? It's if you gone for 2 years and come beat the best in the division. I know these guys, you know, not more than everybody else. I know enough to understand what they're gonna do next. You understand? They're very predictable. They're not unpredictable. You know. And I think if Henry come back and prove himself, and he give him the sense of security, if he win the 145 title, he would defend it. They will give him a title shot. But if Dana White feel one bit, Henry's gonna win the 145 title and bounce on him, Henry's not seeing this time. And I'm being honest.
Let me ask you about one of my favorite fighters of all time, man. Frankie Edgar. What's up with Frankie Edgar? What is his next move?
Frankie, you know, he took his last fight. He had a little bit of injuries, not taking anything away from Cheeto. He had to get a surgery. He got a surgery. He's working out. He's beginning training. You know, listen, Frankie, if you let him fight, he'll fight till he's 60. You know, I love this man, and without him, without Frankie and Henry's integration, I will not exist today. And I would like Frankie, you know, to say bye-bye to the fan, maybe Madison Square Garden in November. That'll be his retirement fight. You know, get him a good matchup. You know, talk to my man Sean. You know, and he always give him good matchups. You know, and just all of us to get to say bye-bye to Frankie at Madison Square Garden is gonna make me sad. You know, I think the man is a future Hall of Famer. Some of his fights with Grand Manor will be in the Hall of Fame for sure. And you cannot find better man in this game than him.
Do you think he'll agree with you? Do you think he'll agree to that? You think he'll be like, okay, I'll take a retirement fight at the end of this year?
I really, the relationship, I think Frankie respect me enough to agree with me, but Frank is Frankie. Who I am to the Frankie not to fight. I'm nobody. You know, yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens with Frankie, man. I mean, I've enjoyed covering his career, so we'll see what his next move is. How about Justin Gaethje? He had a tough night against Charles Oliveira in Phoenix. What have you had conversations with him? How was he after the fight, and where do you think he goes from here?
Listen, man, Justin is killed to be killed. I think, you know, I managed Khabib, Kamaru, and all these guys, Islam, and Vanille. When it comes down to history, none of these guys can touch Justin Gaethje when we can mention the most exciting UFC history. There's nobody even close. You understand? He make exciting guys look like chumps, like Chandler. You understand? And he's very exciting, Chandler. Not taking anything away from him. But Justin Gaethje is always going to be must-watch TV, must-watch video game, must-watch the pay-per-view. He's one of a kind. He's never going to be anyone like Justin Gaethje. It's impossible. It will not happen. You know, and, you know, credit to his coach and mentor, Trevor Whitman, who was my coach, by the way, 20 years ago. He's a good man, and he have good people around him. And we're going to see Justin come back. You know what? I like to see Justin to fight some of these fucking guys, like Nate Diaz, Justin Gaethje, Conor McGregor, Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, rematch. Like some of these matches, you know, some of these matches, you know, I think he's a big enough stars, you know, to fight some of these guys. Maybe fight someone like Masvidal, right? Or like fun fights, you know, Justin Gaethje, Masvidal, right? You know, some of this fight I think would be crazy. You like that, huh? Justin Gaethje, Masvidal.
I do.
But
I like that fight a lot.
cannot do this, my man Gilbert Burn, because I think this is maybe his next fight.
So have you actually had conversation with the UFC about Gilbert and Jorge?
I mentioned it, you know, they said, you know, they're interested, but you know, nothing knocking stones. Every fight, especially with a guy like Jorge's star and all negotiation, get in and all this kind of stuff. Hey, but my guy is ready. You know, if his Jorge is ready, he's ready. They can fight. Maybe end of the year, November, you know, around this area, October.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Just a couple more for you. Marvin Vettori said that he can't find an opponent and that now he's facing Robert Whittaker in Paris. Is that accurate, Ali?
Listen, at the end of the day, this is the fight we're supposed to make and make reach out, and he want to make this fight happen. And listen, that's a good fight. It's the right fight to make, you know. You know, I hope Robert Whittaker will be able to, you know, to go through his injuries and fight Marvin, you know. I truly believe Marvin Vettori, still 27. By the age of 30, Marvin will be a world champion. You know, Marvin Vettori is a very, very young guy in the game. I'm trying to make him calm down a little bit because he's crazy. And one thing about Marvin Vettori cannot take away from him. Marvin Vettori will fight anybody, anywhere, anytime, if he's halfway healthy. Marvin Vettori was injured this whole camp. And he didn't want me to say nothing to the UFC because he didn't want to pull out. And it's kind of when Robert Whittaker pulled out, you know, it was a blessing in disguise, almost in a way. But he was gonna fight regardless in June. But now both guys are healthy. You get the best part of Marvin Vettori. You get the best Robert Whittaker, and nobody have an excuse. I believe Marvin Vettori is gonna come on top, and I beat him. He's getting better every day, and he's very scary right now, and he's very motivated.
Last one I have for you is Kayla Harrison was not particularly happy with her last performance, and she is hard on herself, but she wasn't happy with her performance. PFL continues to say that, you know, she's going to be in the pay-per-view business for them, that she's going to drive their pay-per-view business. She re-signed with PFL. You know, she's at only one fight into that new agreement. Where are things with her? What did you think about her last performance, and what do you think about the company looking at her as a PFL? I'm sorry, as a pay-per-view option? Listen,
I think Kayla Harrison is the greatest female fighter I ever seen. You know, she was not one bit dangerous in this fight, you know, but she fought a girl. She's a 7-time world champion in Sambo, and she was there to survive, you know, not talking bad about her, you know, but she wasn't there to fight. She was there to survive. She went for a couple of knee bars. Listen, you know, the only, like, you know, listen, Kayla's in the tournament. She's in $1 million tournament. And she's fighting. She's a PFL fighter. She's gonna show up every time they give her opponent and fight it. You know, I don't know who's they talking about the pay-per-view. What pay-per-view? You know, what pay-per-view?
2023, I believe, is what they're saying, is that they have ambitions of a pay-per-view, and obviously, you know, they're looking at her as the face of the company, someone that they're gonna sell pay-per-view.
Listen, I'm flattered. They think she's the face of the company, and she is. You know, I think she's a huge part of PFL. But at the end of the day, like, if he's a yin, he's a yang. You know, she's gonna beat all those girls in the tournament. There's nothing gonna somebody. You know, they have to get somebody from outside to fight her. You know. But you know, who they think they're gonna bring up to fight her? Amanda Nunes?
Not gonna happen. I imagine that their hope is that, or maybe the only name that's out there that could make any sense is Cyborg.
Honestly, I'm tired of talking about, no disrespect, Cyborg, but in the way, like, Kayla doesn't need Cyborg. You understand? You know, Kayla doesn't need Cyborg. You know, if you say Kayla and Amanda Nunes, yes, this is supposed to be the pound for pound best female fighter in the world. She just lost. But, you know, if you told me Juliana Pena, I said, great. If you told me, but I don't think Cyborg is a Bellator fighter, you know? And in a way, I think now everybody using Kayla, media, promoters, managers, everybody using Kayla as a prop. Kayla is not a prop. She's a 2-time Olympic champion. She's a 2-time PFL champion. Guess what? She doesn't need Cyborg for her legacy. You understand? You know, she doesn't need nobody. I can be happy. Kayla can fight all these girls she's fighting now, and she end her career. In my book, she's gonna be the greatest female she ever do it. Right? You know
She
why?
wants those fights though, doesn't she? Doesn't Kayla want to fight against?
But in a way, everybody using Kayla to promote themselves. You understand? Use like, you know, even Cyborg now talk about Kayla, and this I don't even honestly I don't want to hear about Cyborg. I don't care about Cyborg. I don't really care at this fight at all. I used to.
What made you change your mind?
Because I think this fight is real. I don't believe Cyborg want to fight Kayla. Okay. I don't want Kayla to be constantly used. And I want to give respect to them girls who signed in the PFL tournament to be respected. Why we're not talking about all these girls? Like, can we give this girl respect, right? You know, at the end of the day, you know, I don't think, you know, Cyborg and Kayla is gonna sell 1 million pay-per-view buys. You know?
I don't know. Yeah.
You know. Don't play this game you don't know. You know the numbers. Anybody?
No, they would. I don't think they would sell 1 million. I think if PFL does want to get into the pay-per-view business and they have invested heavily in Kayla, that yeah, you're going to try to make a pay-per-view on her. But to your point, with what opponent? I mean, I would think that Cyborg's pretty much the only option. Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, everything happened in a timely. But from now to end this tournament, I don't want anybody to ask me about Cyborg. I don't want anybody to speak on Kayla's behalf. You know, I am Kayla's promoter. I'm Kayla's manager. I'm going to speak whatever is good for Kayla. But anybody else, don't speak about Kayla. Because Kayla right now, she's in a PFL tournament. She have very tough 10 girls. She have to beat. Everybody thought she's going to go through her last opponent. She beat her. She dominated, but it was a decision, right? You know, Kayla's a human. And I don't like when these people put pressure on her. Anybody. Even including me, because I used to do that, but I'm not doing this anymore. Leave Kayla alone.
All right. Well, I think it's time for us to leave you alone. The sun's starting to go down. Probably Khabib is going to be looking to put you back to work, so we appreciate it, man. We appreciate you joining us on your a little break time where you're hanging out in the pool, man. It was good stuff.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Hey, enjoy the fights on Friday. We'll talk soon.